going to explain the 2-4-hour model, right? Because a lot of folks need to understand how the model works. Anyway, I'm currently on a solo on your USD, but for now, that doesn't matter. Let's go and learn the 2-4-hour models, right? So the model doesn't occur every time, right? And I have different other models, like the ones I use for um, intraday trading, and then the ones I use to catch the 4-hour trend. Anyways, let's get back at it, right? So, what makes up the 2-4-hour model is you start up with the trend. You want to mark up the trend. And if we look at this market, we can see that we're in a bearish trend. And a trend is made up of two factors, right? The pullbacks and the expansions, or the expansions and the pullbacks. So I have done very well to mark up this trend. And one thing that is very important in our trends are the pullbacks. If we look here, this was a pullback, right? We want to ensure that we're marking up the valid pullbacks and not just invalid pullbacks, right? So this pullback had a high and then it led to a low. So this right here was a valid expansion or the valid continuation, right? In this case scenario, this this high or the trend actually failed, right? We had a break to the upside. So we could say that the trend turned bullish, right? So or we were about entering into a bullish trend. But something happened, right? This is where we don't try to predict the market. We just react with what's going on and flow with the trend, right? Anyways, later on, I would I would share a couple of extra tidbits that I use in staying away from market failures like this, because most people use risk entries, and this is the reason I don't like being an aggressive trader or an overly aggressive trader, right? But for the conservative traders, I have a secret I use in my trading that makes me not take trades like this and just hit stop losses, right? So I will share that with you guys. Yeah, I will share it with you. It's my secret, but I will share it with you guys. Okay, that aside, we've seen that the trend attempted to turn bullish, but then it failed. We returned back to the bearish trend as of here. So if we were to draw that, we can say this pullback, right? This pullback that happened attempted to change the trend, but it failed. And once again, we have returned back to the bearish trend, as we can see right here. Now we have a pullback happening. Once again, we're having a continuation or an expansion, right? The market is continuing the trend. So those are the factors we want to see. We want to see a trend, we want to see the continuations, we want to see the pullback. Once more, right here, we have a pullback. And down here, we have an expansion, right? So let me just mark this up. We have the pullback. And we can see the expansion to the downside. Now, if you look at this, once again, you had a pullback, and if we see right now, the market has done an expansion to the downside. So this is a valid trend, a valid trend, and that is very much good for us to use the 2-4-hour candles on. So once we've spotted our trend, the next thing we can proceed to do is look towards the pullback. So when we want to catch this 2-4-hour candles, we always want to look at the pullback, right? So mostly the best 2-4-hour models occur after you get a valid pullback, right? So valid pullback is just when you get three bearish candles, right? So you get three bearish candles. This is our pullback directions. We look for three bearish candles afterwards. We look to see we look for our 2-4-hour candles. That's just how it happens, right? So if we're checking, we have first valid candle, second valid candle, and third valid candle. So this is a valid pullback. And in any case scenario, we can start looking for the two 4 hour candles, right? So we had the first 4 hour candle, second 4 hour candle. We mark it, find the 50%, we enter the trade, and that is just how I do it, guys. It's just that simple. First off, start with trend, get a valid pullback, and look for it. So there's still another variant of it, right? So this is another variant of this 4 hour candle, where this is our pullback, if you recall, right? So let me, and this is our expansion, right? So from the expansion, so this is our expansion, right? So within the expansion, we had the market was bearish, but then it had one bullish candle, right? And afterward, we had two 4 hour candles. But within this pullback, right, we get to see that we had a valid pullback which went into the two 4 hour candles, right? That came from when the market took a pause within this bearish trend, right, or this bearish expansion. That now became our entry, and we just look to take the trade. So this one is, this first entry was get a pullback, wait for two 4 hour candles. But this one is there's already two 4 hour candles. It's just using the pullback to enter the trade. So that's like a variant of it. Now the next one we have, so let me just get rid of all of this so we can, I think I should also get rid of these. These are just signifying pullbacks, and this color blocks I have on here are signifying pullbacks and continuations, right? So everybody can just clearly see it and know what it is. But for now, I'll just get rid of them. So right here we have a pullback as signified by this blue box, right? And also this blue line. If we check for validity, if this is valid, if we have this, we see that this right here is the first valid one, right here is the second one, right? Now what do we look for? If we look at this level, let's say we had the first bullish candle, two 4 hour candles, but this is an invalid level, right? Because of the range. This boy is back to the range. I have told you guys the valid range for your two 4 hour candle should be from 20, from, yeah, you could use like 19 pips to 30 pips. From 19 pips, right? So you can use it from 19 pips there to 30. Now, once you do that, you can validate if that range is valid or not. What's wrong with this? So this is the valid range. This is an invalid range, right? 81 pips. Now let's look at this one. You have two 4 hour candles right here. We've gotten a value pullback, right? So we have there about 18 to 19 pips, a valid range. I remember taking this trade and also sharing it with some personal individuals, right? So yeah, that's just how I take the trades, right? So you get to see, you won't be like taking trades every day. So those are the reasons I'm not posting trades every day, and that's just a 2 4 hour candle model, right? And that's just how it works. Then afterwards, once you've gotten your 2 4 hour candle model, if you go on the 1 hour time frame, right, to check for follow-up trades, right, because as you get to see, this 2 4 hour candle model did not lead to a break of structure, but we still have structure down here. So what we do for the follow-up trades is simply we come on here, right? We come on here and we wait for valid 2 1 hour candles to occur. So you could actually say that this was the first valid one, right? But this is invalid because of a rule I have where I don't use inside bars. So I don't trade inside bars on the 1 hour time frame, right? So if you look at this, these two candles were inside of this one. But if we look at this as a bullish candle, right, and then these two as a two set of different candles, and inside bar candle. So with that, we can use these as our range to take the next trade coming downwards, right? So as you can see, I don't always put my entry perfectly at the 50%. I put it before the 50% because most times the market just could be very impulsive, and it it doesn't get to like come into the 50% exactly. And following up was just with the 2 1 hour candles until price got to the 4 hour BOS and gave us a break of structure, right? And that's just how the model works. That's the basic form of the model. And yeah, that is everything about the 2 4 hour candle model.